One of the things that's irked me to no end lately with Sony is the fact that, I feel like they have this double standard, or I feel like Sony thinks that there should be this double standard where themselves and Microsoft are concerned. Like, Sony should be allowed to do whatever the hell they want, and Microsoft shouldn't be allowed to do it. Anything to kind of keep out of there being actual competition in the industry. I just feel like that's something that honestly is very much sort of a crazy situation. Now, for me personally, I feel like obviously Sony is going to feel a certain way about it, and people go, oh, well, that's just them being the way that they should be. They should feel like competition isn't really a thing, and they should downplay everything Microsoft does. For me, look, at the end of the day, I think that Microsoft continues to have a bad rap for stuff that's like a decade old now, and as we get closer to 2023, believe it or not, that's 10 years out from the Xbox One. I know, hard to believe, time flies, but it's just one of those things that I feel like people still try to hold them accountable for something that really never even happened, because the stuff that they originally wanted for the Xbox One never released for the Xbox One, right? They reversed all that stuff months and months before the thing even came out. But I want to get into this a little bit because this announcement by Microsoft is pretty crazy. What's up, everybody? Crap Gamer here with Crap Gamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I appreciate it. Please like the video. I'm looking to get 100 likes on each of the videos that I do. I hope you guys all are doing well after the holidays and Christmas and all that kind of stuff. Listen, both Microsoft and Activision really hit back on the FTC's attempt to block the merger. It's crazy to think that they even would try to block this, to me anyway. Microsoft and Activision have responded to the U.S. Federal Trade Commission's legal attempt to block the company's merger. Earlier in the month, FTC announced plans to file a lawsuit in a bid to stop Microsoft's acquisition bid of Activision, which it argues would enable the company to suppress competitors to its Xbox consoles and its subscription content and cloud gaming business. Among other concerns, regulators scrutinizing the deal have expressed worries that the deal could significantly reduce PlayStation's ability to compete, given that it would see Microsoft gain ownership of Call of Duty series. In lengthy responses to the FTC's complaint, which were filed on Thursday, Microsoft and Activision agreed that the merger would be pro-competitive and benefit consumers by making Call of Duty publishers' games more broadly available. And this is what they said. The acquisition of a single game by the third-place console manufacturer cannot upend a highly competitive industry. This is particularly so when the manufacturer has made it clear it will not withhold the game. The fact that Xbox's dominant competitor has thus far refused to accept Xbox's proposal does not justify blocking a transaction that will benefit consumers, giving consumers high-quality content in more ways than one at lower prices is what the antitrust laws are supposed to promote, not prevent. Imagine that right there. I mean, they're going to tear this apart in the courts. In its complaint, the FTC claimed Microsoft has a track record of acquiring valuable gaming content like Bethesda games, Starfield, and Redfall, and making them exclusive, despite assurances that it had given European antitrust authorities that it had no incentives to withhold games from rival consoles. Microsoft rejected these claims in its response, while confirming it anticipates the 3 future Bethesda titles, all of which are designed to be played primarily alone or in small groups, will be exclusive to Xbox and PC. The games Microsoft is referring to is Starfield, Redfall, and Elder Scrolls 6, all of which has been previously confirmed as Xbox exclusives. Or they could be other titles which have not yet been announced, but again, it is nice to see, like, listen, that's the funny thing, like, Sony lives off of their exclusives, right? Oh, we got exclusives, we got this, we got that. And they're all for it. They're like, they pimp out their exclusives. Hey, we got all these great exclusives coming. It's so amazing, blah, blah, blah. And to me, and then they don't want Microsoft to get them, right? Like, I think that, to me, it's just kind of crazy to see that so many people are just kind of hypocritical about this situation, because look, Microsoft needs to compete. You need exclusive content to compete, but you don't need because they're competing with the idea of Xbox Game Pass. I feel like people are kind of just going, oh well, it's just about exclusives, etc., which isn't the case at all, because at the end of the day, if you have Call of Duty on Game Pass day one, that's going to be a huge thing. like Outer Worlds. That was a game that was on PlayStation as well, but guess what? It launched into Game Pass day one, which is a huge win for Xbox owners, and I think the ability to keep doing that is exactly what Microsoft is looking for, especially with something like Call of Duty, and hopefully that continues to be the case. Now, again, any suggesting that Microsoft's statement to the European Commission about ZeniMax were misleading is incorrect. According to Microsoft, they said it would honor Sony's existing exclusivity agreements and approach exclusivity for future game titles on a case-by-case basis, which is exactly what it's done. Now, the European Commission agrees it was not misled, stating publicly the day after the complaint that Microsoft did not make any commitments to the European Commission, nor did the European Commission rely on any statements made by Microsoft about the future distribution strategy concerning ZeniMax games. Now, in Activision's response to the FTC complaints, it accused the regulator of misreading the realities of the competitive gaming industry and turning antitrust on its head, which I think is just, pretty much right on, spot on. The FTC ignores the significant benefits of the transaction in favor of a warped attempt to ignore the facts and rewrite antitrust laws and settled precedent to protect Xbox's competitors from hypothetical harm that has no basis in marketplace realities. Adding Activision content to a multi-game subscription service would definitely be a way to kind of go about and help out and help keep Microsoft actually competitive. Activision, and particularly its King division, will also enable the acceleration of Xbox's early non-existent mobile gaming business, which would enhance competition in the fastest growing segment of gaming, and the transaction will ultimately expand the capital support and talent available to Activision's game development studios, driving further innovations in new games as well as technology. It also said that the FTC's disregard for these benefits to consumers and focus on supposed harms to Xbox's deep-pocketed competitors betrays a fundamental disconnect between the FTC's theories and the actual antitrust laws themselves. Underlying proposal, which is to protect competition, not competitors. The FTC is asking the court to protect the world's largest gaming companies from further competition from Xbox and thereby turning antitrust on its head, blinding by ideological skepticism high-value technology deals by compliance and competitors. The FTC has not only lost sight of the realities of intensely competitive gaming industry, but also guiding principles of our nation's antitrust laws. So basically, they're really kind of going in there, and then in a statement provided to CNBC, Microsoft President Brad Smith reiterated the company's confidence in the case, but said it's still open to exploring alternative ways to ensure the deal goes through. Even with confidence in our case, we remain committed to creative solutions with regulators that will protect competition, consumers, and workers in the tech sector. So yeah, like everything's kind of coming out and coming up, one way or the other from Microsoft. I think that, we're going to see this sometime sooner rather than later get figured out. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.